The metal collar snapped shut around Marcus Chen's neck with a sharp click. The sound echoed through the massive tribunal chamber like a gunshot. Marcus did not move. 12 years in special operations had trained him to control every reaction. Panic killed soldiers faster than bullets. Across from him stood the one responsible. Commander Cyrus Velkarath. She was nearly 7 feet tall, her silver-scaled skin reflecting the cold blue lights of the chamber. Violet eyes studied him carefully, like a scientist examining a strange animal. "You belong to us now," she said calmly. Around them, dozens of Velkari elders watched from their elevated seats. To them, Marcus was not a soldier. He was property. The elder at the center raised his staff. "The bond mark has been placed," he announced. "This human is now your companion, Commander Cyrus. His service is your honor. His failure is your shame." Marcus noticed something interesting. Cyrus did not look pleased. Her jaw tightened slightly. She hadn't wanted this. Good. That meant she was reasonable. Marcus cleared his throat. Permission to speak. The entire chamber froze. A human, speaking during a Velkari tribunal? Gasps and angry hisses spread across the room. One guard stepped forward with an energy lance aimed directly at Marcus's throat. "Companions do not speak," Cyrus said sharply. Marcus met her eyes. "Then we have a problem, Commander." The room went silent. "Because where I come from," Marcus continued calmly, "soldiers speak when they have intelligence that might save lives." Cyrus studied him carefully now. "You claim to have intelligence." Marcus nodded. "I know why your fleet lost 6 dreadnoughts last month." Murmurs spread through the chamber. "And if you keep fighting the same way," Marcus added quietly, "you're about to lose 6 more. Now the elders leaned forward. "You dare question Velkari strategy?" one elder snapped. Marcus shook his head. "No." He tapped the collar around his neck. "I'm questioning your understanding of the enemy." Cyrus narrowed her eyes. "Explain." Marcus walked toward a nearby tactical display. "The Kriaks aren't normal soldiers," he said. "They're hive mind." "We know this," an elder replied impatiently. Marcus shook his head again. "No, you know it. But you don't understand it." He pulled up a battle report. "Every time you win the first engagement, the Kriaks retreat. Then when you chase them, they destroy you." Cyrus frowned. "They lure us into traps." "No," Marcus said quietly. "They retreat because they're learning." He highlighted the battle data. "When you defeat them, the local hive queen sends everything she learned to every other queen in the sector." The room fell silent. "So when you attack again," Marcus continued, "they already know your strategy." Cyrus's eyes widened slightly. "Meaning," she said slowly, "our tactics become useless after the first battle." Marcus nodded. "Exactly." He looked around the chamber. "You're fighting a species that learns from every fight in real time. So the only way to beat them," he smiled slightly, "is to be unpredictable. And no one is better at chaos than humans." Hours later, Marcus followed Cyrus through the halls of the Velkari battleship Eternal Vigilance. The corridors stretched like steel arteries through the giant vessel. "You speak boldly for a prisoner," Cyrus said without looking back. Marcus shrugged. "I speak honestly." She stopped at the door to her private command chamber. Inside were dozens of star charts and tactical projections. "A war room. Tell me your plan," she said. Marcus activated the holographic display. "You fight like perfect soldiers," he explained. "Disciplined. Organized. Predictable. That is the Velkari way. And that's why the Kriaks keep beating you." Marcus pulled up a new battle formation. "My species has spent 10,000 years fighting each other." Cyrus blinked. "You are proud of that." "Not proud," Marcus replied. "But it means we've invented strategies no sane species would ever try." He looked at her. "Let humans fight your war. And we'll show you how chaos defeats a hive mind." 6 weeks later, the Velkari fleet prepared for a mission that many believed was suicide. Their target was Nexus 7. the central communication relay for the Kriak's hive mind. If it was destroyed, the entire Kriak sector would lose coordination. The problem? It was protected by 4 carrier fleets and an impenetrable planetary shield. No fleet has ever breached it, Admiral Vaughn said coldly. Marcus stepped forward. That's because you attacked from the front. He pointed at the hologram. The backside of the station is surrounded by a massive debris field. Too dangerous for large ships. Cyrus finished his sentence. But small human craft could navigate it. Marcus nodded. 12 human pilots. A strike team. We sneak in through the debris field. Destroy the shield generators from inside. Silence filled the command bridge. Admiral Vaughn looked furious. You would trust the survival of our empire to human prisoners? Marcus looked him directly in the eye. Yes. Because prisoners fight hardest when they have something to prove. The Admiral slowly nodded. You have one chance. If your humans fail. His gaze hardened. Every human companion in the fleet will be sent to labor camps. Marcus didn't hesitate. We won't fail. Training began immediately. For 3 brutal weeks, human pilots pushed themselves to the limit. Valkyrie instructors tried to break them. Simulations became harder. Obstacles faster. Deaths in training simulations climbed. But humans adapted. They always did. Marcus watched from the observation deck as Sergeant Major Willis shouted orders. Again. The pilots dove through the asteroid maze. They're improving, Cyrus said quietly beside him. Marcus shook his head. They're surviving. He watched one pilot hesitate. That hesitation will kill her in the real mission. You are harder on them than our instructors, Cyrus said. Marcus looked at the training floor. They're my people. And I won't send them to die unprepared. Cyrus studied him silently. For the first time, she understood something about humans. They fought not for glory, not for honor, but for each other. 2 days later, the strike team launched toward Nexus 7. 12 human ships entered the debris field. Sensors failed immediately. Navigation computers became useless. Only human instinct guided them through the spinning graveyard of ancient warships. Behind them, the Valkyrie fleet waited in silence. Marcus gripped the controls. Stay on my path, he said calmly over the comm. Trust your instincts. The shield perimeter appeared ahead. All right, Marcus said. This is it. 12 seconds to target. The pilots answered one by one. Ready. 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 Marcus smiled slightly. Let's go break a hive mind. The 12 human ships burst through the shield gap. The battle for Nexus 7 had begun. And the Kriaks had no idea what chaos was about to hit them. The moment the human strike ships breached the shield perimeter, alarm screamed across the entire Kriak station. The hive mind reacted instantly. Patrol units turned toward the incoming intruders. But they were too late. Marcus slammed his shuttle into the hull of Nexus 7 with controlled force. Impact. The ship locked onto the station surface. Behind him, 11 other human craft repeated the maneuver. Teams deploy. Explosive charges blasted open entry points. Within seconds, human soldiers poured into the organic corridors of the alien station. The inside of Nexus 7 looked alive. The walls pulsed slowly. The air smelled metallic. Private Chen, no relation to Marcus, grimaced. Sir, this place feels wrong. Marcus chambered his rifle. Welcome to alien architecture. Then the first Kriak's warrior appeared. It moved like a giant insect, 6 limbs clicking against the floor. Marcus fired instantly. 2 shots. The creature collapsed. Move fast, Marcus ordered. They're waking up. Across the battlefield, the other teams fought their own battles. Generator 2 located. Sergeant Willis reported. Explosions echoed through the station. Generator 2 destroyed. Another voice followed. Generator 3 down. The plan was working. But the hive mind was adapting. Every second, The Kriak's defenses became stronger. Marcus's team reached the final corridor. At the end stood the main shield generator. And something guarding it. A Kriak Centurion. Larger. Stronger. Deadlier than anything they had faced before. Private Chen swallowed. "Sir, we can't take that thing." Marcus slowly removed a device from his belt. A small experimental weapon. A neural scrambler. "Good thing we're not going to." The Centurion began moving. Marcus looked at his team. "When I throw this, you run." "What about you?" Chen asked. Marcus smiled. "I'll keep it busy." The device activated. Marcus threw it. The Centurion staggered as its hive connection collapsed for a moment. "Go!" The soldiers sprinted toward the generator chamber. Marcus ran the opposite direction. Straight toward the monster. The Centurion recovered quickly. Its claws slammed into Marcus's armor. Metal tore. Pain exploded through his ribs. But Marcus held on. He tackled the creature to the ground. "Finish the mission," he shouted. Behind the sealed door, the human soldiers planted the final charges. A moment later, boom! Generator Prime exploded. Across space, the massive shield protecting Nexus 7 collapsed. On the bridge of the Eternal Vigilance, Cyrus watched the display. Shield network destroyed. The Velkari fleet surged forward. For the first time in centuries, the Kriaks were vulnerable. But Cyrus wasn't watching the battle. She was staring at the bond mark on her wrist. It pulsed violently. Marcus was dying. The rescue teams found him beneath a pile of wreckage. Barely breathing. The Centurion lay dead beside him. A combat knife buried deep in its neural core. The medic shook his head. "Humans are insane." Marcus opened his eyes briefly. "The mission." "Success," the medic said. Marcus smiled weakly. "Good." Then everything went dark. Marcus woke 3 days later in a Velkari medical bay. Machines surrounded him. Pain filled every nerve. Beside his bed sat Cyrus. She looked exhausted. "You died," she said quietly. 4:47 seconds. Marcus blinked. "Sorry." Her voice trembled slightly. "I felt it." "The bond. I felt you die." Marcus looked at her. "Guess humans are stubborn." Cyrus studied him. "Yes. I'm beginning to understand that." 3 months later, Marcus stood before the Velkari High Council. The chamber was silent. "For months ago," Marcus said, "I was your prisoner. Your property. Your companion." He lifted the collar around his neck. "But humans are not tools. We're allies." He pointed to the battle reports. Nexus 7 proved something. When humans and Velkari fight together, we win. The council erupted into debate. 4 hours they argued. Finally, Elder Corvus spoke. "Commander Cyrus. What is your judgment?" Cyrus stood. Marcus held his breath. She walked forward. "Marcus Chen is the greatest warrior I have served beside. And he did not fight because the bond forced him. He fought because he chose to." She took Marcus's hand. "The bond between us is not master and servant. It is partnership. And that is what will win this war." Silence filled the chamber. Then the vote began. When it ended, the decision changed history. The companion system would be reformed. Humans would become bond partners. Allies. Not property. That night, Marcus stood on the observation deck watching the stars. Cyrus joined him. "You could leave now," she said. "The collar no longer controls you." Marcus looked at her. "Do you want me to leave?" "No." The answer came immediately. Marcus smiled. "Good. Because partners don't quit." 6 months later, the combined human Velkari fleet defeated the Kriaks at the Battle of Crimson Reach. For the first time in 200 years, the Dominion pushed the enemy back. The hive mind could not predict human creativity. It could not understand human sacrifice. And it could not defeat human stubbornness. Standing together on the bridge of the Eternal Vigilance, Marcus and Cyrus watched the enemy retreat. "You belong to us now," Cyrus said softly. Marcus smiled. "And you belong to us." She tilted her head. "Us." Marcus looked out at the fleet. "Humans. Velkari. Fighting together. Family," he said. And in the endless darkness of space, humanity had just changed the fate of a galaxy.